Hello, I'm the Greek Geek because I'm 50% Greek and 100% a geek. You may notice with my Godzilla reviews that with every installment I say that it's getting more and more and more kid-friendly. And this one is no exception. This one turns up the kid-friendly factor up to 11. Holy shit. A reporter lands on a remote island off the coast of Japan and finds this team of scientists there that are trying to make a machine that can change the weather. On this island, there are large insects called Kamakaras. When they use the weather manipulation device to increase the temperature of the island, the Kamakarases become even bigger. And Godzilla is around and has laid an egg somehow. That's a thing. And the egg hatches and gives birth to Minilla, the son of Godzilla. Later, a giant spider shows up and tries to kill Godzilla and his son. I haven't mentioned this a lot in the previous Godzilla reviews, but a lot of actors that are used in previous movies to this one and in future ones are reused throughout the series. You might notice that a lot of characters look the same. That's because they've reused the same actors to play different roles, and that was an ongoing thing in the Showa era. So a lot of characters here have been in previous Godzilla movies and will appear in future ones. This one takes a much more friendly tone. It's a lot more kid-friendly, trying to reach that wider demographic. They have Minilla look a lot more cute, even though he can look quite horrifying in some instances and look a bit creepy.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
So they're trying to up the cute factor to try and attract, I guess, female audiences and children. I can definitely see this being more popular and more accessible to a lot more audiences as opposed to previous Godzilla movies, and I don't really see any harm in it. It's just a child-friendly Godzilla movie. It's not what I personally prefer. It's not my favorite Godzilla movie by any stretch, but I don't see any harm in it. Even though this one is more kid-friendly, holy shit, the action scenes, like Godzilla taking on the group of Kamakarases. I'm saying Kamakarases because I don't know the plural for Kamakaras. I guess it's Kamakaras. Have I said Kamakaras enough? Godzilla is throwing around the Kamakaras like they're nothing. You can tell he's just thrown around like a doll. Looks very loose and unrealistic. Pretty lame. But Kamakaras would fly at Godzilla trying to attack him, I guess. Godzilla would sidestep him and then blast its limbs off with the atomic breath. The limb goes flying and almost crushes some of the human characters. That's really enjoyable. Even the scenes where the humans are trying to fend off the Kamakaras when they're at their smaller size, I found that interesting. Just seeing the humans actually trying to fight off these monsters, even though they're not huge like Godzilla yet. And like the previous couple of movies, there's a bloody rock throwing fight. Like Kamakaras and Godzilla throw rocks at each other initially. That's a thing that seems to happen in a lot of Godzilla movies, especially in the Showa era. Like Kamakaras would juggle it between its claws before throwing it, and then throwing it and smashing the face of Minilla, which is just hilarious. Unintentionally hilarious. And when Godzilla is fighting Kumoga, the giant spider, in the final fight scene, you really get the sense that Godzilla isn't taking this threat too seriously, because he's fought Mothra before in its larval form, being able to shoot web and entangle Godzilla, so you get the feeling that he knows how to handle this. He just nonchalantly just blasts the web so it doesn't even affect him. Kumoga does get the upper hand on Godzilla eventually, even being able to stab him in the eye with one of its venomous barbs or whatever it was. But Godzilla wins eventually. The music in this is overwhelmingly happy, child-friendly music. Child-friendly music, as if that's a thing. It's really loud, just the theme. It really sets the theme of the child-friendly tone, and it got really irritating for me, and I didn't really like it at all. World and world building. So building on the world of Godzilla, Godzilla can lay eggs. I guess Godzilla is asexual like Zilla, or Godzilla, whatever you want to call him, from the Godzilla movie in 1998. Yeah, so Godzilla can breed. Godzilla teaches its young how to use atomic breath and how to survive and all that kind of thing. Godzilla is actually paternal. Who would have thought? Minilla can use atomic breath at a very young age and seems to age quite quickly. I'm not sure how long passes between Minilla being born and when he matures a little bit. Some time passes, I guess. Not much, but he grows pretty fast. Introduces two new kaiju, the arachnid kaiju, Kumoga, and the praying mantis like Kamakaras, who appear in later movies as well. I like the effect for Kamakaras, like the way that the wire worked with its legs. It made it seem almost like it's kind of like floating, and I liked the effect of there's close-up shots of his legs trying to get through to the humans. Not that convincing, but I imagine at the time it would have looked a lot more impressive, and I quite liked the effect. And there were quite a few noticeable wires for Kumoga and Godzilla. I don't know if you're not actively looking for them, you probably wouldn't notice them that much, but I'm always looking for that kind of thing with Godzilla movies, because I know there's a lot of wire work involved, and for some reason I just try and look for it, and it's always there. And Godzilla looks way friendlier. This is one of my least favorite Godzilla suit designs. His face is weird, his snout is a lot smaller, the eyes are larger and looks a lot more cartoonish. I guess to make him look more child-friendly and less like a villain and more threatening and imposing. Don't really like it that much. The shape of his head, almost human-like. It's not a really good look for Godzilla. This one is more accessible for children, but you can skip it, like with a lot of these other Showa era Godzilla movies. They're not particularly great. This one, you can give it a miss. So that was my review for Son of Godzilla. If you enjoyed my review, please consider hitting the subscribe button to see future movie reviews like this Godzilla one. I've got more in the works that I will be doing. If not, that's fine. Hope you enjoyed this review and that you have a nice day. And as always, thank you for listening to me ramble on about a movie for a few minutes. I do appreciate it. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next time.